This is the plaintiff, Arthur Drevins. He says the defendant's vicious pit bull jumped into his car, kicked him in the right cheek, causing him to bleed, and then tried jumping out of the closed passenger door window, shattering it to smithereens. It was crazy, just like out of a movie. His insurance paid for the window, but he's suing the defendant here and now for $5,000 for the pain and suffering he endured. This is the defendant, Mark Karras. He says the plaintiff let his dog out, and they went out to the street to look for him. The plaintiff found him, put him in his Jeep, and when the dog saw him, he tried jumping through the window. The plaintiff is a nut job who's trying to get money out of him with this ridiculous lawsuit, but he knows the judge will see through it, and this case will be dismissed. He's accused of having a crazy dog.
All parties, please raise your right hand. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presented. Be seated and come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Okay.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Arthur Drevins,
Yes.
you are suing New and Old Limited and Mark Karras. You're the owner of the business?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. For $5,000, $4,800 of it pain and suffering that you say you received at the hands of what's that dog's name?
Samson.
Samson. Boy or girl?
He's a boy, Your Honor.
Okay. And $200 to repair your window. What happened?
Good day, Your Honor. On Sunday,
Can you get the dog to obey your command to sit or
He's
no?
been here so long, Your Honor, so it's hard for him.
We'll just say sit and see what happens.
Sit, stay.
Okay. There you go. That's all I'm asking. Go ahead.
good day, Your Honor. On August 11th, Sunday morning around 10:40, I came to his Mr. Karras' second memorabilia shop in Long Island, New York. And I went over to the door and opened it 5 inches, and all of a sudden, this huge animal came charging out. He went past my right
That
leg.
one?
This
Okay.
dog here went charging out and scooted straight up towards highway of Lincoln Avenue.
Okay.
And I just was shocked.
Why was the dog loose in your business? Because your business is an open business. It's not your house. Why was the dog loose
Your
inside?
Honor, I do have a sign in the window that says by appointment, and I usually keep the door locked. And people come in, they were with the dog all the time. As you can see, I'm just saying, your whole staff met this dog. He loves everybody.
I'm sure the dog is very lovely. Is that a pit bull?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sure the dog is very lovely, but any dog, pit bull or otherwise, but especially pit bull, maybe should not be in a public place roaming because there could be a problem. I'm just telling you, in terms of your own liability for the future, you can't just say, "Oh, my dog's great," because the only ones I see are the ones where it turned out not so great. So, I just don't know whether why was he loose? The answer is he's always loose in your business. It's your business and you'll do it if you want.
On Sunday, it's like his day of coming out with me. So he gets this day because it's not really busy on the Sunday.
All right, so what happens? The dog runs out and what happens?
I looked at it and I just went after the dog for a second to see where it went. And Mr. Karras came out about 8 seconds, 10 seconds after with a lot of derogatory 4-letter words. And then he said to me, if that dog gets maimed or killed, I will harm you and your wife and sue you also. And I got confused.
I'll not only harm you, that's not good enough. I'll also sue you. Okay, go ahead.
I wasn't trying to be a good Samaritan of any sort, but I'm a dog lover myself. I have 3 dogs, Los Apsas. And I got in my Jeep, in 1990 Jeep, and I floored it. I went right after the dog, expecting Mr. Karras to follow me. I went all the way up to Church Avenue, and I saw an old man, I guess on a morning bike ride, and I slowed down. I rolled down my window. I said, "Have you seen a white dog?" He said, "I think it's a pit bull," and he took off like a lightning bolt.
Okay.
And then also to my left, I saw 4 children, small kids, around 7 or 8 probably, playing on the sidewalk. And I said, "Oh my God," I said, "something's going to happen." So I went to the end of the dead end there. The dog was stuck against the fence. He was going back and forth, back and forth. And I was in a state of shock. I said, "A pit bull, what am I going to do?" And I was praying like crazy in the car. And I said, "What am I going to do?" So I turned the car in, and I turned it to an angle, so to my right, so he was kind of blocking the alley. And I opened the door wide open, and I said to the dog, "Get in the car right now." And I backed off, and the dog started trotting towards me. I thought he was going to take a leap at me, but all of a sudden, somebody up there was watching over me, and my prayers came true. He turned to the right into my car. He floated right into the passenger section. I keep my driver's passenger section right up to the front, right up to the dashboard, so it was really tight.
Okay.
And thank God upstairs, his paws got stuck right down. And all of a sudden, I didn't even waste a second. I said, "He's stuck." And I said, all I have to do is go up 1 block and turn at the lights at the left, 1 block, and there.
Wait, so you decided to drive the car with the pit bull half stuck in where the feet
was
go
stuck
because the
pretty good.
seat was so far
was-
forward. So instead of just closing the doors, you decided, he's kind of stuck, so I've got the minute and a half to
No,
get
he
back.
was stuck real good.
Okay,
Because
I mean, you're trying to help. I understand, what you're saying. You figure you've got the minute and a half.
His chin was stuck.
Except what happened, because you're suing. So what happened?
His chin was stuck right against the glass, so he was getting really frustrated.
You're just making him angry now. I mean, it's like, this is nuts.
He was
so
mad.
what? Okay, so now that the pit bull is frustrated and angry, let's get in the car and drive 1.5 blocks. All right, and then what happens? So you get the car. All right.
And then I thought I had it made until the dog his back legs started whipping me in the face.
Because he's stuck.
And they were
All right, so
really
his
heavy.
back legs are whipping you in the face.
They were really heavy-duty Muhammad Ali punches.
He's a big dog. Okay, go on.
When I made the turn to the lights, I saw Mr. Karras standing at his complex, hands crossed like this, looking like a jolly green giant, saying, "Ho, ho, ho." He was laughing. I told him, "Get the dog out." He said, "No, drive the car down to my door, right to my door." I said, "What?" And so I floored the Jeep, made a turn, and then I went, then all of a sudden, he broke right through my windshield.
The dog?
Went right through my passenger windshield. Glass.
So wait, not windshield, through the passenger glass.
Yes. It was just like a bomb hit my car.
Right.
And all I could see is to my right that he was walking with his leash, and he took the dog into the warehouse. Then he came out, and first thing he said, "Clean up the mess you created."
Okay, let's hear from you.
Your Honor, his story and mine are totally
What happened?
different. What happened was the dog was sitting, I was getting ready to take the dog to go do his business. The dog was sitting right by the door. You could see the dog right there. I yelled, "Arthur, don't open the door." So what does he do? He opens the door before I could get the leash on him. So the dog.
I got an idea. Why don't you not have the dog loose with your front door open to a store that's during opening hours?
Well, I learned that lesson
I'll
by
say,
not
right? Okay, so go
bringing
ahead.
him with me anymore. I know that.
Well, it's look, you can take him with you. You just need to have him controlled if it's open for business to people. And if your front door's open, it's open for business.
I have 2 warehouses. I usually keep them in the one room.
Except for that didn't happen this time, right?
Right, because I was getting ready to take him out.
So you yell to him, but it's too late. He opened the door and the dog escapes. And what do you say to him at that
So
point?
I say, "You're an idiot," or whatever, something derogatory. I can't exactly remember.
He's an idiot.
Well, I guess I'm an idiot too. So I guess, anyway, so he goes down. I rush in my car right away. I just go real fast. I turn right, turn around, turn left. Then I come back to my warehouse because I realized I left the door open. And by that time, I seen Arthur coming with the Jeep, and he was right there. I says, "I can't take the dog. I needed to put a leash on him, whatever." I said, "Drive right in front of the door there so I can take him and throw him through the thing." So before I got to do, I heard a loud bang. So all I can figure was the
So
dog.
did you tell this guy to clean up the mess he created?
No, that's total.
Okay,
I mean,
well, did you
Your
pay
Honor,
for his window?
Your Honor, I play Santa Claus every year. I don't think I.
Well, Angie, you're not exactly playing Santa Claus now, are you, cowboy? Because he's got a $200 window repair that you're refusing to pay.
All right, but I'm not bad Santa. I'm
Okay,
good
evil Santa. He's bad Santa.
I do rescue. I try to help the pit bulls and the Rottweilers and the big dogs. I used to help
All the dogs
Brookhaven
that I'm
children.
afraid of. Okay.
Right. But I guess I'm not as good as the guy there on TV. What is his name?
Well, you do not have that dog under control, even in my courtroom. You are certainly not the dog whisperer.
He's 90 pounds of solid
yes,
muscle.
and you love it. It's fine for you. You love that he's rambunctious. You don't really want to control his spirit. But here's the problem: his window's broken. Did you offer to pay for the window?
Your Honor, I said, "Are you all right?" First thing I did was say, "You all right?" I seen he was a little dazed and fogged, so right away I have.
Do you know why he's dazed and fogged, by the way? Because he felt bad that your dog got out, which is not his fault, it's your fault, and he was trying to be a good Samaritan, and he was trying to get the dog for you so you wouldn't be sad.
I understand that.
Right, like you get that, right? Because
yes.
I would never do that. If I opened the door to an establishment and a dog came out, you're
it.
on your own, pal. I turn around, get back in my car, and leave. Okay? I'm not going to chase a pit bull I don't know.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, are pit bulls more aggressive than other dogs?
No, I don't think so. I think as long as they have a good training, they'll be as loving as any other animal.
You buying that?
Yeah, I think it varies on how you raise the dog.
So you think it's the owner, not the dog?
Yes.
Is it the owner or the dog?
I'm going to say it's the owner. If the owner's aggressive, I think the dog then has a tendency to be aggressive as
So
well.
there are a lot of bad pit bull owners, aren't there?
There are.
Interesting. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, you have him safe in the car. Close the two things of the car. And now he's in the car. Walk back to where you're going and call him and figure something out. But why would you get in the car and then the dog hits you and then it's his fault that the dog that's wedged somewhere and is trying to get loose has the hind legs hitting you? By the way, did you seek any medical attention for that?
I got the evidence right here.
Thank you. Can I see it? Is that your arm? That's your arm?
Yes.
Okay. And when did that happen to your arm?
I yelled at him. I pointed my arm a little bit too close to the dog, and he took a real that snip at me, and then the blood started pouring pretty bad. And then I asked him afterwards when I parked the car. I got out and I said, "Call the police immediately." He faked the police call because I went to the police headquarters to check on his cell phone call. It was a fake.
Do you have the bill for the window?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Did you seek medical attention? Yes or no?
No, I saw my doctor 2 days later, and
Do
he
you
said,
have the bill from the doctor?
No, he just said it was my bone bruise and the way I healed because I poured peroxide in my car. I had some bandages and everything, and I cleaned it up myself,
Okay.
waiting for the police.
Here's the deal, all right? I've got to look at two parts of this case. I've got the window, which is $182.26. Clearly, he's paying for the window. There's no question. Okay, you've won that part of your lawsuit. But the next part is your pain and suffering.
Yes.
And there's two questions to it. One, is that his fault? And two, is it worth $4,800?
Yes, because I've had
No,
weeks
I'm
and
not
weeks of
asking
no
you.
sleep after this.
I know.
Because if that dog turned his face on me, they go for the neck. They're an inbred dog. They'll go for the neck, and I'm dead.
Right.
My life was at stake at that moment, man.
Who put your life in danger?
Who put my life in danger? I had to get that dog off the street before somebody else gets killed. Pit bulls are inbred dogs, not bred dogs.
Listen to me.
They mean business when
Listen
they come
to me.
after you.
That's right. And you have a responsibility in the eyes of the law to not put yourself in a position of danger, which you willingly did. Not only that, you had the dog contained and there wasn't a scratch on you. And instead of just leaving well enough alone, walking to the nearest business establishment, walking to the nearest payphone, walking to the nearest whatever, walking back a few blocks to where it is, what you did was crazy. And that's how you got injured. What you did was get in the Jeep with a wedged pit bull.
I didn't know
And
that.
drive like a what doesn't
Why did
matter.
he- why-
Stop. The dog escaping was his fault. You getting hurt was proximately caused by the decisions that you made to drive with a wedged-in pit bull. Okay, it was
If I
kind
knew it
of
was
crazy.
a wedged-in pit bull,
You said it was wedged in pretty good there. That's why I thought I had the time to make
Right,
it
but the
back.
thing is, the
it
dog-
was crazy. And it's a scratch here and a scratch here. It didn't even require medical attention, so it's not worth $4,800. I am going to order him to pay you for the window because I think it's the least you can do because he saved your dog. $182.26, verdict for the plaintiff. I don't know that you two should be in contact with each other anymore. I understand that you do business together. You have done business together. Maybe not the best idea. There's a lot of other places in town and people in town you can do business with. Good luck to both of you.
Your Honor,
Done.
could I just say one thing?
Hey, here comes the big guy. And the defendant. All right, here, stand next to me like this. Tell me, what's your feeling on now that this case is finished up on how the verdict came out?
I think it's exactly the way it should have came out, and I think that it was just
Hey, the man did you a favor chasing your dog, you know?
Yes, and I have no problem paying for his window. He made it out.
Don't you appreciate the fact that he went and chased your dog and found
Yes,
your dog?
I do. I want to, yes.
Want to thank him for that?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. All right, head right around the corner there. Okay. All right, step on in here. You sued for a lot in pain and suffering and everything, and you wound up with 182. So, you satisfied how this comes out?
Absolutely not. The defendant didn't even tell about what kind of dog it was, and I wouldn't have gone after it if it was a pit bull.
Why did you chase the dog? It wasn't your job. It was his job to do it.
Well, I'm a dog lover, and I don't want the dog to be hurt. I thought it was just a simple terrier. It just took off, and that's all. I was doing a favor for him.
You did a good deed.
Tried, but it ended up with nothing.
For Santa Claus there.
Well,
He was trying to be a good Samaritan.
Right. Harvey?
So what really happened here is that the plaintiff was negligent himself by driving in a reckless fashion, so it cancels out the defendant's negligence, at least in part. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.